Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. Today's video features 2 drops in a Wolfhound Grinner with combat footage compliments of Major PETA. Now, our first drop looks like a skirmish match on Frozen City, and the Major is employing the Grinner the way it is intended to be employed, and that is as an early game scout. So he is almost behind the enemy lines. Unfortunately, his ECM is not powerful enough because somebody got eyes on him, and now he's being pushed. But before he beats feet and retreats, he's going to do something right here that I really appreciate, and that is he fired off his UAV that clearly marks the bulk of the enemy team to his friendly units. And now he is in self-preservation mode, running for cover. This just goes to show that even with the power of ECM, sometimes playing the part of the cheeky scout doesn't go exactly as planned. Now, what I see on the battlefield all too often is light mechs with no ECM whatsoever charging straight into enemy positions. And that is a quick way to get focus fired, eat a ton of missiles, and basically get your mech shot out from under you in short order with very little advantage gained for the charge like that. It's much better to stand off and visually spot the enemy units, lock onto them with your R key if you can, but at least relay to your teammates what you see as far as mech types, where they're at on the board with grid coordinates, and the directions that they're moving. Now, the Major has made it back to cover, and while his mech is beat up, he does live to fight another day on things like, I don't know, a Nova Cat loaded down with LRMs. And before you start screaming for him to push, he's not pushing for 2 very important reasons. Number 1, he is the distraction while the teammate swings in behind the Nova Cat. That's number 1. Number 2 is there is still that Vapor Eagle with 3 ERPPCs, and he still is up on that ridgeline, so pushing out into the open was going to get himself shot. The Nova Cat is retreating under heavy pressure, and there is the kill shot from a teammate. Now that frees the Major up to go investigate the ERPPC Vapor Eagle up around this hill, as long as he can do it without getting shot. And the Vapor Eagle was in the midst of repositioning, so we got a shot on left torso, which is now open, and maybe he can follow up on that. And as he peeks over the ridge, there is an enemy assault, and that is not good. He is eating missiles, and I don't know if that was just a dumb fire. I can't imagine that the Supernova got a lock on the Major that quickly, but that is unfortunate because now our mech has an open CT as well as left arm. Now, there's nothing in the left arm, so that's kind of okay, but the center torso, you kind of need that to keep going in the game. What's more concerning than our open CT is the minimap. So if you've looked at the minimap, you can now join the Major in doing his frustration dance. And the reason he's doing that is, if you notice, the Major's team is spread out incredibly wide across the whole entire map pretty much. And there's 3 units who are just now getting around to pushing the Gulf line. Meanwhile, the enemy has been clustered, Fox 4, Fox 5, somewhere in that neighborhood, but they've been clustered together the entire match. So I don't know how the trades are going elsewhere. It's only 1 to 2, but the Major's team is coming at them piecemeal, and that could be very problematic. The Major is going to have to pick and choose his battles carefully because he's open CT, and not do things like run face first into a Timberwolf. However, it looks like we managed to open up the Timberwolf center torso as well. So since we didn't die and we opened up his CT, I'm going to chalk that up as a win for the Major. That was pretty good shooting there. There seems to be quite a few enemy targets towards Echo 4, Echo 5, but before we can settle into any kind of firing rhythm, we kind of get pushed out of the way by a friendly unit who also takes some leg damage because he stepped in front of us as we were shooting. And now the Major is going to relocate. I don't blame him for that. The big concern now is the fact that the score is 1-5, and if the Major's team is not careful, a snowball is on its way. They're pushing back up out of Echo 5. There's several targets, including, yes, that looks like the Wolfhound from the very beginning of the video, and the Major is redeemed, getting the kill shot on the Wolfhound. He was open right torso. That was masterful. So he does get his kill and revenge, but the avalanche of enemy mechs is now coming straight for the Major, and I don't think he's going to be able to dodge his fate on this one. There's an enemy Warhammer in front of him. He'll get a couple of shots on that, but this is quickly turning into a rout. There's not much more that can be done, and the Warhammer has pushed in on one of his teammates as the Major takes some shots at additional units that are trying to enter the fray. Unfortunately, one of the teammates goes down, the second one is running. I don't think the Major has what it takes to take on the Warhammer, and especially since the Warhammer is not alone. The Roughneck was with him. The Major goes down, but not before he chalks up 1 kill, 3 assists, 515 damage done. Moving on to our next drop, we're still playing skirmish mode, but this time we're on River City, and the Major has once again squirted out to the forefront to act as scouter. And as he does that, let's discuss this Wolfhound Grinner a little bit more. There are so many things that I do like about this mech, and this chassis in particular. It has decent firepower, and you can mix and match it any way you want to. You saw in that last drop somebody had the large laser version. You can go with medium pulse lasers if you want to be a close-in knife fighter. It has decent armor. I mean, for a light, who's kidding who here? But it does have decent armor for being a light mech. It has speed and maneuverability to get around the battlefield. It has ECM for protection, and that can be upgraded to stealth if you wanted to go that route. And most importantly, this mech offers you the 30% C-bill bonus on your drops. Now, the negative is this mech can only be purchased with MC. So you can't buy this one with your C-bills. You're going to have to pony up a little more skin in the game if this is the mech that you want. Now, I did a review of the Grinner some time ago, but I'll leave a link to the more in-depth review of this mech in the description below. The bottom line is this is a very capable 35-tonner. So if you're newer to the game, maybe not necessarily brand new, but newer to the game, and you don't yet have this mech, you might want to consider adding this to your mech bays. This is a very fun mech to play. You're not going to grow tired of it anytime soon, and while you're playing it, you can be farming up tons of C-bills to build your own MWO empire. Wow, I did not mean for that to feel like a sales pitch, but who knows, maybe I have a future as a used mech salesman ahead of me. Getting back into the action on this drop, the Major looks like he is finally ready to go after the Marauder. He's kind of been playing Ring Around the Rosie with him while they focused the enemy Hunchback, but now it's time to take out this pesky Marauder. He's being attacked by our friendly light mech. We have missile support from the outskirts, as well as the damage that we are piling on, and the Marauder is taken out of the game. Now there was something between those buildings there. I'm not sure what it was, and oh, look at this. So I'm not the only one who gets stuck on ground clutter in this game. The other unit that was spotted turns out to be this Shadowcat. Now, he has stayed way too long at the party and has been left behind by the rest of his teammates, so he's kind of at our mercy, and our friendly light unit looks like he's going to town on him. The Major is shooting another target, Hotel, in the background. Now, he's doing this with purpose because he's putting down suppression fire and making Hotel pull back so that Hotel can't shoot his friendly light mech, while the friendly light mech cores out the Shadowcat, and Major Major, you dirty, dirty, dirty man, you. The light mech did all of that work, and you waited for him to end his jump so that you could kill the Shadow Cat and steal the kill from that little light mech. You should be ashamed of yourself. Look at that, not even a moment's remorse. He just keeps pushing the golf line. He's a bad, bad man. And he's found a bad, bad mech. Look at that Ebonjag. He's got quite the weapons loadout. Good thing we're getting shots on his back. It looks like he wants to get out of Golf 7 and up towards Fox 7. It looks like that's where the enemy is Fox 7-ish. So now the question is the Ebonjag going to run for it? Is he going to stop, hold up, and turn around, just waiting for us to show ourselves and lambaste us with an alpha strike? That would be really, really bad. Major's pushing forward through the buildings, and this becomes somewhat of a test of nerves, just hoping that there isn't an Ebonjag hiding around one of these buildings, or even some kind of stealth unit or something with ECM. But we have made it all the way to the back of Fox 7. Not only are they not here, but we're getting reports that they're higher up on the higher ground, except for, yeah, a very deadly direwolf who is down in the tunnel slot, and he has every LB known to man. That is not a good target. However, we have managed to open up his center torso. It's not good taking his damage, but he looks like he's one touch. And now the Major lets the light mech have the kill. How magnanimous of you. You bad, bad man. He's going to keep pushing the enemy units coming up around the corner. And there was our greatest fear. There's the Ebonjag just waiting at the top of the hill with friends. Now the Major quickly backs off. He is open CT left torso, but he did manage to throw up his UAV, and that showed off the enemy team and enemy position to all of his teammates. Now he's got to deal with this adder who came down through the slot, and this is not going to be a fun fight because he has lots of machine guns and open torsos, and those two things don't mix very well. The Major goes down, but we're going to stick with the rest of his team to see if they can bring it across the finish line. They should be able to mop up the last two units. The score is 10-8, and one of them looked oddly enough like the adder that killed the Major. He's still kicking around, and I'm not sure what the second unit is, but there's two of them. They're on this back hillside, and it looks like the adder is taken out, leaving just the final mech, and that appears to be a Griffin. Well, it was a Griffin. So he's taken out as well. And we're going to switch over to the end screen on this one and finish it off with 1 kill, 7 assists, 8 components destroyed, 511 damage done.